for everybody else who has nothing to do on Tuesday nights, we run an open mic at the cafe, 5115 North Lincoln Avenue. There's info on it on the card if you want to know anything about it. chaoticarts.org/thecafe. We actually have openings for features. There's one in the end of August that's available if anybody is not around and would like to have a 20-minute feature or want to know anything about it. Go to the website or go to me for a business card because you can't remember the address. And now I'm going to do things about death because I try to avoid that while I'm hosting the cafe. I was going to do two brand new ones, but I want to start it off with an older piece because I was almost killed in a car accident years ago, and this was written right after that. And this is called The Things They Did to You. When you hear that you were so close to death, you don't think about it. You feel fine. You couldn't have been that bad. But you are on a respirator to breathe for you while the doctors just hoped and waited for you to start breathing again. And you couldn't eat. You were unconscious for 11 days, so they gave you food through a tube that went straight to your stomach. You've even got a scar on your stomach to prove it, where that tube came out of your body. There was a piece of metal in your body that the doctors put in there to make sure that blood clots that would be formed in your body wouldn't move to your arteries, to your heart, to your brains, to your lungs. Granted, they're being kind. To place that vena cava filter in your body now means that an MRI you might need in the future to help you live will only kill you because that vena cava filter is inside of your body, but they were only doing everything only in your best interest. They had an intracranial pressure monitor surgically attached to your head because your skull was fractured in 3 places and your brain was swelling, maybe scraping against your skull, so they could measure to see if there was too much brain pressure onto your actual brain. Yeah, I suppose it's fair to say that you were almost dead, but you're fine now. At least no one will tell you that. I'm sure you know that by now. What does it feel like to be almost dead? If you have to think about your own life and what it meant to you and to other generations, would any of this surgery matter? Well, you wouldn't be dead, I guess. But if you were no longer here on this planet, what if you were not alive? Would anyone miss you? Would anyone write poems about you or cry for you? Well, people might get used to the fact that you are gone. Time heals all wounds, as they say. If you were thinking about it after you were gone, you'd still be angry, I'm sure. That doesn't go away. It never does. Get used to it. These are ones I just wrote for tonight. I'll probably never read them again. This one is called Keep Looking for Death. After knocking on death's door, I waited to recover, clawed my way free, did everything I could to gain any of my freedoms back. And now that I'm here, I am waiting again, because now I know death is just around the corner, waiting for me. So I keep looking for it. I walk down the sidewalk and imagine a car careening off the road behind me so I can't escape my impending doom. I go to a store and imagine a stranger over there, the one that doesn't look quite right, and see him pull out a gun for whatever's in the register. Don't make any sudden moves, or death may really find you this time. I was stopped at an intersection when 2 cars tossed me around like I was nothing. And if the odds seem so slim that something like that could ever happen, I think of how I always seem to beat the odds and wonder how it might happen again. Speeding down an expressway, the wind might tunnel through as I am behind and next to a semi, turning my car, so I'm headed right into this big truck. I keep looking for it, and I still keep managing to just scrape by. But still, I keep looking I thank you for your patience. This one is an interesting one I wrote. This is called You've Left Me on Siesta Beach. Got a hotel overlooking Siesta Beach to see you. It was all about sand and sun and fun when we were together. But after spending all night on the beach with you last night, we argued and I screamed at you to leave me alone. So you stormed away. I couldn't tell if you were defiant or dejected when you left me at 4 a.m. But when I got back to my hotel looking over the beach, I couldn't sleep. I called your cell at 5 a.m. It jumped to your voicemail. At 6 a.m., I heard the sirens, so I looked out my hotel window overlooking the beach and saw the lights and 2 ambulances and a crowd circled at the shoreline. My God, I thought it was just an argument. We'd be okay. That can't be you. So I grabbed my phone and my keys and ran to the elevator. I stepped inside and heard 2 people talking about the unfolding news. I heard, they found a man washed up on the beach. He wasn't in swim clothes and he had no life vest, so they think he committed suicide. So I ran out the elevator as soon as those doors would open, sprinted to the beach. At the end of the crowd, I dialed your number again and again. No response. I glanced to my right, saw EMTs in a gurney with a zipped body bag. I ran toward that body bag. A policeman stopped me. I begged. I said I may know the victim. So he brought me over to the EMTs. They said the man had no identification. I gulped and said, I may know him. They looked at each other and they told me to be prepared when they opened the bag. I braced myself and then they slowly unzipped that bag and I looked at his face. He was bloated from being in the water so long. He was pale from no blood circulation and his eyes were wide open. I mean, it's not like the movies where an actor can press their fingers over the dead's eyes and the eyes then just stay closed. They even used to put coins over the dead in the old days. So his eyes were wide open. I stared back at his vacuous stare and turned away. I don't know this man, I told the EMTs, and they asked me if I was sure. People look different when they die out in the water like this, they told me. And I said, that's not his eye color. And I walked away. Now I wonder what really died that day, since I never heard from you again. Thanks. And if anybody wants to know anything about the open mic on Tuesdays at the cafe, come and bug me, and thank you again. Thank you.